Hi Cancer, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your November 2020 Bridging the Gap love reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as personal readings go, I'm actually taking a bit of a break from those probably until early next year actually. So just wanted to give you an update on that. As far as what we have in front of us, it's Bridging the Gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. The cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. These are the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards for some additional insight. That's where the Bridging the Gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Also keep in mind it's a general spread, so while I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as their energy, if you feel like those energies should be flip-flopped, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that said, starting with the past energy on your side, we have Awakening. So this is actually the equivalent of the Sun card in traditional tarot. And this could just be saying that you might have come to some awareness around this connection. Maybe you weren't seeing the situation very clearly in the past, and that energy might have started to shift for you guys. And usually, given that this energy relates to the sun as well, it usually represents coming to a more light, playful energy as well. And it could just be saying, especially with the symbolism in the card, maybe you started getting some dreams around this person, maybe some synchronicities kept lining up for you that gave you some signals as far as if you wanted to proceed in a direction with this person or not. Alright, the past energy on their side, we have the Five of Chalices. So this is actually Scorpio energy here. And what this could be saying is that they might have come forward to you with an apology. Five of Cups usually represents an energy of disappointments. And usually in most decks, we see a person looking at the three spilled cups and then there's still the two standing behind them. But here in this artwork, we see it where, yes, there probably was a disappointment, but it looks like this person coming forward to actually try to rectify the situation. For a small percentage of you, it could be the other way around, where maybe you guys are the ones who were apologizing to them. Could go either way there, but I feel like that'd be a smaller percentage of you. Alright, in the present position, we have Temptation, and this is the equivalent of the Devil card in traditional tarot, which is Capricorn energy, which is your opposite sign. So, my first instinct seeing this card, especially given that we started Mercury retrograde recently, and it's in your 5th house of romance, creativity, it could just be saying that someone's coming back around from your past and possibly pulling you away from this connection. And this may not be the first time that happened either, because like I said, for a small percentage of you, this might have actually represented you coming forward and making an apology for issues of the past. Maybe you became aware that, oh, okay, maybe what I was doing wasn't the right thing, right? So you might have come forward and apologized to them. But seeing this here, if we look at their, the body language of those two people, they're clearly pulling away from the cards on this side. So I feel like for a lot of you, this is saying that it's you guys who are being tempted away from the connection from someone with that devil energy. It can be someone that you've been in a connection with before, especially. Given that, like I said, that does represent your opposite sign, the devil energy. Alright. In the present position on their side, we see the Three of Wands. So this is actually Aries energy here, and the middle 10 degrees of Aries, and this is actually the degrees where Mars will start going forward again in November. So can represent that energy where maybe they feel like, especially if they're the ones who came forward to you in the past with an apology, maybe this was them just trying to wait it out, so they might have tried to test the water with you guys and see, okay, is Cancer open to me coming back around or what? So to me, it looks like it's saying in the present, they could just be trying to wait for you to come back around to them. And maybe that's causing crossed wires, especially with the Mercury retrograde. So, for example, maybe this isn't, as nefarious as it seems on the surface. It could just be one of those things where it could just be saying that if they only came around and apologized once and you didn't really hear much from them after that, you might have assumed, oh, okay, well, maybe they weren't interested in reconnecting. They just wanted to make an apology and, move on. So that could be what happened there. But yeah, with this energy, it looks like a definite passive energy on their part. So, especially if you do have someone coming back around, it looks like you might get pulled away from that connection for sure. And future energy on your side, we have wisdom, which is the equivalent of high priestess, and I actually usually view that as Pisces energy. So I see this playing out a couple different ways for you. One could just be saying that you're seeing things from a higher perspective. So whatever these events were around, like I said, it looked like that awakening energy. Then the temptation almost makes you feel like you're taking a step back from that. But with the wisdom here, I feel like this is saying that you guys are really getting in touch with your intuition and really figuring out, okay, what was this all meant to teach me, right? I mean, you have all major arcana on your side, which is definitely interesting because they don't have any. So whatever this is, looks like it's more meaningful and it's supposed to be a bigger lesson for your lives overall. But that's one way I see it. And the other interesting thing with that too, given that I said that to me this usually represents Pisces energy, is Pisces is the natural ruler of the 12th house, and at the very end of November, there's going to be a full moon eclipse in Gemini, which is your 12th house. So, whatever confusion there may be around the situation that you guys might have been feeling in the past, or especially presently, if someone does come back into the picture, it looks like you're going to learn the lesson from it all, and most likely around the insights that come through to you guys during that eclipse at the end of the month. But I do have to say, along with that too, though, it doesn't look like you're going to be really communicating with this person. And future energy on their side, we have the Ten of Swords. So for a lot of you, it really doesn't look like you're going to be coming back around to this person. So, I mean, maybe this insight on your part was that they were the ones who were the ones doing something shady, and maybe you realized that you didn't want anything to do with that. Like I said, for a small percentage of you, I felt that it could have been you guys who were the ones that might have come back to apologize. And if that's the case, the way I see it playing out is you come back to apologize. This person's under the impression that things are fine between the two of you, and then you might get led away to another connection, right? And then they find out about that, and that's where the disappointment comes in. So it can definitely play out that way, especially because, like I said, maybe you resonate more with this energy and that's the other person's, but that's just what I'm seeing with these energies as a whole. At the bottom of the deck on your side, we have Three of Cups, which is actually Cancer energy, the middle 10 degrees of Cancer, and it's definitely a celebratory energy. I know quite a few tarot readers refer to this as a third party energy. I don't really see it that way. I see it more like reconnecting with family, longtime friends, for example. We're going to be coming up on the holidays before we know it, no matter where you are in the world. So, could just be pointing to that energy, but it definitely looks like a celebratory energy. So, like I said, whatever this is, looks a little heavy for you guys in the present, but it does seem like you learn from it, whatever it is, however it's playing out. We already went through the different scenarios it could be. I'm not necessarily picking up on you guys being the ones with a third party involved. I mean, if that's the case, looks like you're totally cool with it, but yeah, I don't think that's really what that's pointing to. And then beneath that, interestingly enough, we have the Queen of Cups, which is actually the court card for Cancer. And we see her leaning in and feeling good. So, however this turns out, it looks like it's going to work out positively for you guys. And I do have to say, the bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Five of Swords. So it definitely looks a little more, like they might be the ones who are up to something a little shady. But I do have to say, in this deck in particular, usually Five of Swords definitely looks like a negative energy. But here, this points more to actually having to take a risk around something. So for some of you, might not be that negative. We'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. Like, I'm really kind of half and half on. Overall, it definitely looks like they might have been up to something, but we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. So first, we'll see if we get anything from the Aqua Moonlight deck here. And I did pre-shuffle this deck. I'm just going to be looking for jumpers, though. So first, we'll be looking for unspoken messages from them to you. And, well, from you to them, rather, and then we'll see if we get any from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing comes up, I'll just take that as a sign to keep moving to the next Oracle deck, since it's just a general reading. You won't shuffle all day. Alright, but we'll see anything comes up, like I said, first looking for unspoken messages from you to them. Okay, almost have one there. And I'll give it a few more shuffles before we move on. Okay, so nothing there, so we'll see if we get any unspoken messages from them to you now. Alright, I'll give it a few more shuffles here too. Doesn't like anything's coming up for that either though. Yep, nothing there. So we'll move on to the next Oracle deck, which is the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. And same situation here, I did pre-shuffle this deck, but we're just going to be looking for one card here, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, nothing coming up here either, so if I give it a few more shuffles and nothing comes up, we'll just put the deck down and pick one. Yeah, so let me put the deck down. And like I said, we'll just pull random cards. Give me a second to tune in. Okay, and we'll go right here. Oh, if I could get the card. There we go. All right, Loyal Heart. So this is interesting. There it is. There's the artwork, and the number is 35. So, I mean, maybe they haven't, done anything wrong after all, but we'll see what it says in the book. Okay, it says fidelity, loyalty, devotion. The Oracle's message: evidence of loyalty will appear in your life. Others will prove they are faithful to you, and you will in turn commit fully to them. There is a sure and abiding certainty in your heart. Know that Spirit is always loyal to you. No matter the outer circumstances in your life, trust and have faith, for you are eternally loved, always divinely protected, and divinely directed. So, definitely an interesting message there around the loyalty thing, and we'll see what the relationship message says. It says, your partnerships, friendships, and romantic relationships all have many qualities in common right now. Honest devotion, faithfulness, and a loyal heart are being shown to you. Are you as loyal in return? Now is the time for heartfelt commitments and trusting in divine protection. So, a pretty good message there, too. I do have to say, for some of you, that can make it seem like maybe I was saying in the beginning that a smaller percentage of you, I felt like this could have been representing you coming forward with an apology to someone. So if that's the case, just keep in mind that temptation energy, especially if it can even be around a misunderstanding, right? Because with the Three of Wands energy, like I said, usually we refer to the Three of Wands energy as you're waiting for your ships to come in energy. So this could even just stem around a misunderstanding where, maybe you apologize to this person again, like I said, with that awakening. Maybe you come to a realization that, oh, okay, maybe, things weren't what I thought they were, as far as maybe you were perceiving them in a negative way. And then they might have that Three of Wands energy, which is, like I said, they're waiting for their ships to come in, so they might not be taking an active move toward you. But if you read that as misinterest or disinterest, rather, and then you actually go with someone else, right, then that could cause the heartbreak there. So, especially keep in mind, like we said, we do have Mercury retrograde as we speak, in case you can't tell from me stumbling over my words, too. But yeah, so that could be what's at play for some of you, which is saying that, you might look at the way that they're handling the situation and take it as disinterest and actually just move along with someone else, causing a heartbreak in that situation. But overall, it looks like, especially with that wisdom, which is the high priestess energy, intuitively you guys will get on the right path, especially, like I said, with that full moon eclipse at the end of November in your 12th house. So keep a lookout for that. With the Three of Cups, it looks like it does turn out well for you overall. So we'll wrap up there, guys, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.